Hello and welcome. If you can hear my voice, that means you're on the internet right now. And you're watching the last bout of the evening, Saturday night. I am Double Op Buck. Sitting next to me is the curvy and vivacious Bulldog.
How y'all doing?
Get ready, folks. Here we go. Yeah, this is going to be a heck of a bout here. Victorian Roller Derby League All-Stars versus Sacred City Derby Girls, the Sacrificers.
All right, I am looking forward to this game. Victorian Roller Derby League has kind of set the Pacific Northwest on fire. They beat Reign of Terror, the B team from Rat City Roller Girls. Yesterday they played about yesterday. I wasn't here. Were you here?
I didn't catch it. Little scheduling conflict there, but I did catch the bout earlier today, and that was an excellent bout. Victoria up against Terminal City. The clash of the out-of-towners, as it were. The real out-of-towners. That was a fantastic bout. I think we're in for another excellent bout here right now. Looks like we might be just about ready to go. There we go. So Victoria came up on top, 256 to 221 over Terminal.
That's right. That was a very exciting bout, we're not used to seeing Australian leagues up here anywhere in the United States, much less in the Pacific Northwest. So Victoria Roller Derby League raising some eyebrows up here with some impressive skill. Now we're on the clock. Here we go. And that is Mad Mel Arena jamming for Victoria Roller Derby League against Daddy's Girl, number 53 for Sacred City. Sacred City in the maroon tanks, and that is in the white is Victoria Roller Derby League. Mad Mel Arena does a dash around number 13, Evil Shenanigans of Sacred City, and gets out of the pack, but Daddy's Girl already into the back on a scoring pass. Now that is Smash and Pop number 2, and Tiger number 782, forcing Daddy's Girl to the outside, and she ends up calling it off before Mad Mel Arena can get into the pack. So it's going to be no points for Victoria Roller Derby League. Anything for 3 points. 3 points for Sacred City.
Off to a real fast start here. The pack moving out of the pack like a lightning bolt here. I want to take this opportunity right before the jam to thank the Big O for bringing all these great teams here, by the way. I am seeing some fantastic derby today.
Yes, indeed. It has been. Colt 45 jamming for Sacred City against G-Banger, number 010 for Victorian Roller Derby League. G-Banger up to the front. That is Sacred City's Kneel and Weep, number 1. Holding the line, but no, G-Banger almost got up, and she gets cutting the track. That's going to be our first power jam for Colt 45 of Sacred City. But Colt 45 still stuck in the pack, trying to get around Rocky, number 77. She gets past Rocky, but gets caught up by number 24, Ruby Rib Crusher. Finally getting past her and his lead jammer. Ruby Rib Crusher going to the penalty box. So Victoria Roller Derby League racking up some penalties. Ruby Rib Crusher is actually going to get waved off. So now the one skater on the track for Victorian Roller Derby League is Rocky. And now she's rejoined by Ruby Rib Crusher. But Ruby Rib Crusher, of course, owing a penalty. But right now, with Rose Villain coming out of the penalty box, Sacred City is at full strength. And now Colt 45 getting a second Grand Slam. She already got the first one and gets a second one, calls off the jam, and it looks like G-Banger still in the penalty box. So Victorian Roller Derby League will not be able to field a fresh jammer, and Sacred City coming out strong.
You know, this is something we actually saw early on today, Terminal versus Victoria. Terminal was able to capitalize early on against Victoria with the penalties racking up early on. Of course, Victoria, though, ended up doing the same in reverse in the second period, though. A lot of penalties playing a big role in the Big O I've seen in these bouts.
For closer, number 44 jamming for Sacred City. Jumps into the back, does a little pirouette to get past the Victorian blockers.
Beautiful.
That was Tui Lyon, number 88. She is now all by herself once again as Ruby Ribcrusher spots the open seat in the penalty box and heads there. Forecloser picking up an easy grand slam. So Sacred City walking all over Victorian Roller Derby League so far. That's G-Banger back in the mix out of the penalty box, but she's going up against a solid four-wall slapjack, number 22, and 425 misbehave, tightening it up. But, hey, there you go. G-Banger able to get through. But meanwhile, Forecloser just doing what she does best, and that is just blazing a trail through the pack with style and panache.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Take a bow. Take a bow.
Fantastic. That was some pretty roller derby right there. I'm here to tell you. Wow. Sacred showing us the forecloser there. That was some good looking derby. Nice jamming there.
All right, well, Victorian Roller Derby League a little bit better off than they were at the beginning of last jam. They only have one blocker in the penalty box. That's Ruby Ribcrusher, so it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Sacred City. Sacred City has barely even touched the penalty box by comparison. But we've got Daddy's Girl jamming again. She jammed in the first jam and now is back. So it looks like so far we may have a 3-jammer rotation on Sacred City. We'll see how that pans out. And Swish Caraboom, one of the team captains for Victorian Roller Derby League, she's out of the pack and coming around. Daddy's Girl desperately calling off the jam, just gets the jam ref's attention in time. And Swish Caraboom coming up. Oh, no! Daddy's Girl trying to, you saw how flagrantly she was trying to get in there, but Swish Caraboom able to steal 1 point off the back of the pack.
That was fantastic. We saw Victoria doing this earlier today. They do not stop to that fourth whistle. That was excellently played. Getting to everything they could possibly get. Of course, the story's in the score, though. Sacred City 28, Victorian only 1 point on the board so far. We're waiting for this jam to start, and they do. They start the jam. Both jammers off like a lightning. Of course, they're both actually running right in the back of the pack. I see Colt 45, though, looking for that inside line, then right through the middle, trying her darndest to get through. Big wall of white up front there, blocked by the referees just slightly now as they make the way around the turn. Both jammers still looking for daylight, though. We are seeing a lot of push and shoving in this pack. It's getting crazy here. Slowing down to just about a glacial pace. And a big cut in the track call means Mad Mel's going to take a trip to the old sin bin here, leaving it all up to Sacred City and Colt 45. Colt 45 works every time, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, she is working her way through this pack at a snail's pace.
All right, Billy D.
That's right. Oh, no, buddy, don't let me down. Colt 45 not letting anybody down, though. She's making her way through the front of this pack. One more block to beat, and she does. Landing on the flat track with a kaboom. Colt 45. Ladies and gentlemen, your lead jammer in a very, very hard-fought lead jammer spot. Probably the hardest fought for Sacred City thus far in this bout.
So another jam with the jammer in the box for Victorian Roller Derby League. This is the second power jam they've given up. So Victorian Roller Derby League looked so strong against Terminal City. Terminal City was getting a lot more, significantly more penalties in that game than Victorian Roller Derby League. But now Victorian Roller Derby League is finding out what happens when they're the ones sitting in the box. So we've got Mad Mel Arena in the box as jammer for Victorian Roller Derby League. Forecloser back in the star helmet cover. And another spin pirouette. Tiger, number 782, trying to reel her in, but Forecloser able to get out of the pack. And is lead jammer now. And backs into the pack. Does she ever just skate forward? I don't know.
I don't know if it's possible at this point. I just don't think so.
And now I think she's just she's just doing a. That looks like a dance move I saw in I think it was a chorus line.
I've seen it before. You know those things have wheels on the bottoms. Oh, bad news for Sacred.
That is a high block.
Yeah, there you go.
And there goes Mad Mel Arena. She did exit the penalty box before Forecloser reached it, so that was not a jammer swap out. Forecloser spending an entire minute in the penalty box, and now it's a power jam for VRDL, the Victorian Roller Derby League. Mad Mel Arena trapped behind a 2-wall, very strong 2-wall. That was Axel Breaker and number 1 Kneel and Weep that were holding the wall, but Mad Mel Arena able to smash through. Now we are seeing the passive offense from Victorian Roller Derby League. Kneel and Weep not falling down, but not the referee's ruling. It was not due to Mad Mel Arena's touching her in the back, but now she gets someone. Okay, so I think they held a
Someone
vote.
saw it. Yeah.
There was a committee meeting, and it was decided finally that
right.
it was Mad Melorina going to the penalty box again. Another one. Now that was difficult to tell. I couldn't tell if Forecloser got released. I think she actually was released prior. So I think this may be another full minute power jam. But Forecloser doing it again. 5 points. And I believe that was completing her first scoring pass. Or was that her second scoring pass? I kind of lost track. Buck?
I think you're right. I think that was the first scoring pass. We'll see what the scoreboard tells us in a moment here as it's updated.
All right, well, Victorian slowly adding some points to the board. Only 3 more points, bringing their total to 4. Sacred City with a strong 36 points.
Victoria's going to keep trying to chip away at this score here. Still plenty of time to go in this first period, just over 21 minutes.
Axel Breaker, number 23, in the penalty box for Sacred City. That means it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Victorian Roller Derby League, but they are on the power kill. Daddy's Girl now getting a back block. So we may see. I was talking. I don't remember the last time I've seen this many consecutive jammer penalties. And they've been timed almost perfectly. Most of them, the jammer gets to the box just after the other jammer was released. But it's just musical chairs. They're just trading places in the penalty box, jammer for jammer. So Mad Melorina, once again, jammer, and now getting through. Daddy's Girl, I believe she did not complete her initial pass. So lead jammer was still up for grabs. Mad Melorina has claimed it, and now is on a scoring pass. Number 67, Rose Villain, guarding the middle for Sacred City. And now up front, we have Misbehave, number 425, joined by Slapjack, number 22. And they are triple teaming Mad Melorina. Of course, the rest of Victorian Roller Derby League's blockers dropping back into the passive formation, also known as the sausage, but some people don't like it when I say that.
I like it a lot.
Mad Melorina, the one-on-one with Misbehave, finally getting past the end of the engagement zone. And that is a grand slam, the first grand slam for Victorian Roller Derby League. And she comes around again, Mad Melorina running into Slapjack. Slapjack dropping back to bridge. Now Rose Villain dropping back to bridge. Now she's only got 2 more opposing skaters to get past. That is Misbehaved and Axel Breaker. Axel Breaker coming in with a shoulder check. Mad Melorina did not like that. It's a cutting the track. She did not see Axel Breaker dropping back to turn 3. And now it is another jammer penalty. Looks like Daddy's Girl was already... It's perfect timing. Daddy's Girl had just gotten back into the play. And there it was. She completed her initial pass, but it's just one this entire game is just going to be power jams after power jams.
That's right. We're seeing some interesting defensive formations here, as there's only one jammer ever to worry about right now. Got Victoria's coach on the floor here trying to figure out just what the heck is going on, as are probably you viewers at home here. Apparently it is possible to have a bout with only one jammer in at a time. We're watching it happen right now. Now all the coaches coming in. We might have a Royal Rumble out here in the middle of the flat track. Metal Ed now leaning in to see just what's going on. Victoria Roller Derby is having a heck of a time here, and that's probably what the coach wants to see. If they are doing an official review or not, wants to know, hey, is that really supposed to be my jammer in the box right now, guys, or what?
Yeah, well, it's really hard to tell, and things have been moving along pretty smoothly for the most part, but sometimes we are having difficulty getting communications. So I know most of you are probably wondering what this official, what this. Is it an official review? It's a timeout. But they haven't signaled an official review.
You're right. I don't know. It looks like
they haven't signaled an official review.
Right.
It could potentially be an official review, but
they put a reviewee out there to me. When the refs huddle up like that, it's either to figure out who is driving to the beer garden after party later, or they're actually going to review a play. We'll see.
Occasionally. If there's just a suspected score discrepancy and the coach attempts to call it to the attention of the referees, then that's sometimes that will be counted as their official review. Sometimes it will simply be counted as, oh yeah, you're right, we should have caught that ourselves, so we're not going to charge you with the official review. So you can still use it in this period. But I mean, other than that, I mean, unless they're scolding the referees and saying, "Hey, come on, lay off our jammers."
We've seen that before too. Yeah,
but that never works. I can tell you.
Why doesn't it though? There should be. I'm not sure what that just was there. The ref scooted up to the line. It looked like he gave the back off signal there, and the forecloser stepped back off the line. All skaters stand up. It looks like that was an official review. I kind of wish I didn't have these headphones on. I might have been able to hear maybe what Metal Ed told us there. I apologize, folks at home who are watching this, but it was an official review and something was decided, so there you have it. Number 44 there, the forecloser, taking off as your lone jammer on the floor. She is the lead jammer before the turn even finished there. As she comes back around now, beginning to make contact with the pack. She is going for it here. Sacred not messing around as they're throwing points up on that board, just rocketing through both those blockers. 5 more points on the board for Sacred as the forecloser is showing very little regard for the white defensive line in front of her right now. Bumping through the back, recycled to the back slightly there. Looks like the forecloser though right back up. And Adam trying to get by that last line defense. The pack was just split up enough. That's got to let her go for another big 5-point pass. We've got 2 jammers on the field of play right now in the flat track. So Victoria is looking to score some of those points right now. I don't think we've done an initial pass though, of course. So we got a long road ahead for the girls in white. And it's even longer now as Mad Mel gets recycled right to the back of the pack. Forecloser, though, trying to get by Tui Lion and crew up there at front. Tiger letting her go, just keeping it in bounds. That was as close as it gets, folks. But another big 5 points on the board for the girls in red. Meanwhile, still stymied in that pack. Mad Mel Arena looking to get through. I don't think she's completed her initial pass yet, as she is still just battling her way through the front of that pack. No quarter given by Neal and Weep and company up there. And now we've got the forecloser through yet again. I do see the thumb. That means 5 points, folks, from the referee. Mad Mel now just finally getting through. John Faljohn says, no, you're not the lead jammer, but you can start scoring points now. Coming into the back of the pack now, Sacred calling it off. The forecloser, big jam for Sacred there as they continue to just throw points up onto the board. Bulldog, what news?
Okay, well, we did finally get clarification on what that official review was about. I believe it was an official review. I didn't see the hand signal, but what it was about was when Mad Mel Arena got that cutting the track call. That was number 23. I don't think we have instant replay or anything like that, but you can backtrack and check out for yourself. But number 23, Axel Breaker, she was the one that triggered the cutting the track on Mad Mel Arena. But the dispute was that that Victorian Roller Derby League believed that Axel Breaker had gone out of bounds with Mad Mel Arena and therefore was not eligible to trigger the track cut. But the referees determined that she was in bounds, or at least no referee saw her go out of bounds, and therefore the ruling was that the track cut stood. But back to the action. Colt 45 jamming for Sacred City. She's not the lead jammer, and G Banger was able to get out of the pack, called off the jam before Colt 45 could put any points on the board. No score. Oh,
G-Banger actually scored a grand slam there at the end.
Oh, you know what? I was a lap behind.
No, that's
that wasn't
right.
her initial pass.
That was not the initial pass.
She was the lead.
We appreciate you breaking it down for us, though, Bulldog. That was a little bit of confusion earlier on, especially for the people at home, probably. So thank you for breaking it down anyway. But no, that was great, Bulldog. Thank you.
I promise I'll pay attention in the future.
You make so many promises, Bulldog.
How dare you? Well, we got We've got Daddy's Girl knocked down by Tui Lion. And it looks like she gets the cutting the track penalty. Tui Lion triggered the track cut. And now we've got Swish Caraboom, team captain for Victorian Roller Derby League. She is out front with Lee Jammer and on the power jam. But it's a 3-on-2 pack advantage for Sacred City. And Swish Caraboom slams into them, but she engaged with her shoulder to shoulder. So even though you saw two Sacred City skaters go down, Swiss Caraboom made legal hits. That shoulder did not connect between the bra straps, as they say, or between the shoulder blades. And so Swiss Caraboom now engaging.
Look like that was Kneel and Weep right up front there, the last block of the pass.
Number 113, Annie Ankle-Biter, was putting up a strong defense. Now Swish Caraboom attempting to make another run through. Cash Money and Kneel and Weep on the 2-wall in front, but Swish Caraboom does a pirouette. He borrowed a move from Forecloser to get through the pack. He get past that 2-wall this time. Another grand slam for Victorian Roller Derby League. And it looks like Victorian Roller Derby League actually starting to gain a little bit of momentum, starting to kind of congeal around their on their defense and offense. Swish Caraboom leaping. I think she actually did. That was a self Pegasus. That was a self Pegasus.
Yeah, the self-thrown Pegasus. Is that what you're saying? I gotcha. Okay. I'm sorry, Bulldog. I couldn't help you on that one.
Well, she leaped to the infield and grabbed her teammate's shoulder. And that was a
self-propelled Pegasus. Right. Yeah, I love it. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, technically, it didn't get her around an opposing blocker that was in front, so it wasn't the full Pegasus. But it was a Pegasus around her own teammate.
The self-propelled half Pegasus. There we have it.
That's
okay.
Right. If you want to get technical. G-Banger back on the line for Victorian Roller Derby League. Number 451, Shock and Auburn jamming for Sacred City. She's actually a new skater this year, as I understand. I believe this is the end of her rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure that I'll get some hate mail correcting the exact start date of Shock and Auburn, but she is in the pack on her initial pass, and this is definitely the first time she's jammed in this game.
There we go. We can say that.
I'm going to go to the bank on that. But here we go. Shock and Auburn trapped behind a 4-wall. Victorian Roller Derby League putting up a strong defense. Bebopalua forcing her almost back to turn 2 as G-Banger completes her scoring pass, gets a grand slam. And Shock and Auburn knocked to the ground to the infield and exchanging some words with the flying nunchucker. And both skaters going to the penalty box. Interesting.
Oh.
That is interesting because normally one incident, it means one penalty, but there must have been 2 consecutive penalties, one against each skater. But I'm not sure what the penalty was on Flying Nunchucker, but the result is, now G-Banger, I was about to say G-Banger on the power jam, but it's going to be a jammer swap out. That's about 20 seconds of penalty to be served by G-Banger as Shock and Auburn returns to play. But she's got to take the long way around. Victorian Roller Derby League forcing the pack forward. Number 23, Axel Breaker, trying to slow them down, but now they drop into the familiar passive offense. Passive offense. Shock and Auburn right very quickly. Only about 20 seconds of penalty served, and now she's back in action. G-Banger already with a grand slam for Victorian Roller Derby League, and she finds it very narrow but open inside lane and gets another grand slam. So now look at the score.
Look at what we've got. There you go, folks.
It looked like it was just all Sacred City's game, but Victorian Roller Derby League finally just had to get their sea legs.
There you go.
As they say.
Big old legs. Yeah, got the big old legs under them. Yeah. Just had to, exactly. They had to warm up a little bit, maybe get back into the rhythm here. Not used to playing such a red jersey team, perhaps. I'm not sure. Although they did just play Terminal earlier, so that theory may not hold water, Bulldog. I don't know about that. In either case, Sacred coaches on the flat track here trying to figure out what's going on. Probably a good time to take a break as they need to do something here to stem the tide. Victorian has turned on them here. The score, if you're watching home, 54 points for Victoria. Sacred City at 58, a very, very small lead compared to what we had just a few short minutes ago in this bout. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we've seen both teams plagued by jammer penalties, rotating in and out. Early on, though, Sacred City was capitalizing much more, taking full advantage of Victoria spending a lot of time in the penalty box. Now, though, the tide has turned slightly. Victoria bringing it back in full swing here. G-Banger heading up the charge on the last jam, getting on those much-needed points, which was a power jam in itself to start with, and then the tides turned just within that short 2 minutes.
Yeah, and by the way, I think finding their rhythm is a better illusion than getting their sea legs.
I like that, but I think you're right. Yeah.
I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah. Are we mixing metaphors now? I don't know. This could derail quickly, folks. But we still got 10 and a half minutes that you're gonna have to listen to us for, or, I guess you could mute the computer. That works too. No, don't do that. You got to listen to us. 10 and a half minutes left to go. Right in the middle of this timeout here. Officials on the floor trying to figure out what's going on. We've now got all of the coaches on the flat track talking to Metal Ed there, just asking him, what's going on here? We want to know why the score is only a 4-point differential now when only a few minutes before it was much, much wider. Are you sure everything's on the up and up? I would blame witchcraft had I not just seen it happen myself with my own eyes.
Okay, well, Metal Ed going to clarify things for us. So look.
Unfortunately, from our vantage point, I apologize again, folks, but it looks like the ruling was that the jammer may have sat. I think they ruled that the jammer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so the dispute was that that Sacred City believed that the Victorian Roller Derby League jammer had not served her full penalty during a jammer swap out, but it was nullified or overruled, as the case may be. Again, we're getting our information as soon as we can, and as accurate as.
No, thank you, Bulldog, for saving the audience from my incoherent mumbling in the microphone as I was trying to describe what I thought was going on. Looks like
you may have to read one of the many roller derby blogs to find out what actually happened. And
there you go.
Once they'll decide by committee what actually happened.
There you go. Yeah, Rocky broke through there, but we look like we have points on the board for number 44 from Sacred City. That's the forecloser. I couldn't catch that. It was 4 or 5, though. I'm trying to add it up in my head right now. In either case, Sacred City now sits at 62 to Victoria's 54.
Okay, the court of the blogosphere.
The interwebs. We love you so.
The Derbyverse. But we have a 62 to 54 game. Colt 45 on the line for Sacred City. And there she is, Swish Caraboom. Swish Caraboom jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League, but knocked out of bounds by Annie Ankle-Biter, number 113 for Sacred City. Going to the penalty box, it's the Flying Nunchucker, number 72 for Victorian Roller Derby League. Colt 45 finally, a hard-fought battle, finally getting out of the pack, claiming lead jammer. And now that is Neil and Weep, number 1, finally giving. Now she may have been a little premature. It looked like she was still very close to the pack, but she opted to give ground anyway. Colt 45 getting through the pack, though, making the argument moot. Calls off the jam and secures. There it is. That was 4 points.
Love it. Yeah, 4 points on the board. And there we have it, echoed to us by the house announcers right now. Listening to them and listening to us at the same time. Both jammers now lining up again. We're going to do it all over again. Victoria now slightly stymied here in the last few jams. We'll see what they make of it.
Daddy's Girl versus G-Banger. Once again, Sacred City in the maroon and Victorian Roller Derby League in the white. Oh, G-Banger all the way around. Just dodges behind Roseville and number 67 for Sacred City and gets out of the pack, claims lead jammer. That was a very dynamic move. But a cutting the track called on Daddy's Girl. It looked like Chewy Lion was just barely able to stay in bounds. You saw her on her tippy toes right at the edge. And the referees saw that, and Daddy's Girl was sent to the box. But no, I can't even finish a sentence.
Bulldog, I blame you. You have jinxed it. And it's
so we have
fault
another
completely.
jammer swap out. About 15 seconds, by my gut clock. Now we got Daddy's Girl approaching, and she, of course, is not lead jammer. We won't have a lead jammer. We're going to have a full 2-minute jam. Daddy's Girl trying to drive up the center now, blocked by the Flying Nunchucker, also known as Chuck by her jersey. And here comes G-Banger looking to catch up to Daddy's Girl. Daddy's Girl at the front, smash and pop, and Tui Lion comes in with a shoulder check. But that's the Flying Nunchucker holding on to the front on point, but finally Daddy's Girl able to break free. But right behind her, G-Banger. G-Banger putting a grand slam on the board. That's because Daddy's Girl went to the penalty box on her initial pass, so has just completed her initial pass and is now finally on her first scoring pass. G-Banger, on the other hand, was on a scoring pass when Daddy's Girl went to the penalty box, so that was a grand slam. So now both jammers eligible for up to 4 points on this pass because they're actually kind of... There we go. No? He gives her 5. Interesting.
Yeah.
They all... that may have been Meyer. What do you think, Paul?
Well,
sorry, Buck.
You can call me whatever you want, Bulldog. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I was thinking of someone else.
All right. Well, we see it right now. Victoria's coach out there asking, what the heck was that? Was that a no pass, no penalty, or were you just kind of giving it to him there? We're gonna probably hear about that, no doubt, I'm sure, later on, as we see a little bit of clarification. In either case, I got to compliment all of the officials and NSOs out here this whole weekend. They have been all over it. And I've been more than happy with the professionalism and the calling we've been seeing.
Only a 6-point game, a strong jam from G-Banger, 10 points. And that's brought them within 6 points of Sacred City. And a quick move, and Mad Mel Arena just barely gets out of the clutches of Axel Breaker and gets out for lead jammer. Right behind her, is that Misbehaved? Number 4, no, that's Forecloser.
Yeah, sorry.
Forecloser, number 44, yes. Misbehaved, of course, number 425 for Sacred City. But that is Mad Mel Arena on a scoring pass. Cash Money just hip-checking her almost out of bounds. She calls off the jam in time. It's a +4, and now we have a 2-point game.
Boy, howdy. Victoria pouring it on now, and no better time than the present. We're under 5 minutes left to go in the first period. They would love to keep this momentum up through the halftime and keep it up against Sacred City right now. Looks like the referees are checking out the pack, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I think we need a secretary just to keep track of all of the jammer penalties.
I know. I'd be afraid to see what happens in the second period. We might lose some jammers here due to maximum number of major penalties.
Yes, that is a very real danger for both teams at this point. Now we've got Swish Caraboom jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League. And she just slides up the inside. Looks like Neil and Weep saw her, tried to get in the way and close the door, but Swish Caraboom too fast for her, and that actually puts Sacred City in the lead for the first time in the game. We have a lead change. Roseville and whips with a shoulder check. Colt 45 right behind her, trying to get into a scoring pass, but Victorian Roller Derby League calling off that is Swish Caraboom calling off the jam. 3 more points, and that gives them a 7-point lead for Victorian Roller Derby.
That was well played. That was a heads-up play by Swish Caraboom there. She saw it coming. She knew when to call it off, and Victoria has really come on strong. We're seeing the audience react here. I don't know if you can hear that online, but we have got some Derby war chants going on in the audience right now.
That's right. Victorian Roller Derby League has brought some fans, but they've also got some additional fans in Southern Discomfort. I recognize some of the Southern Discomfort players, and they're up there cheering on their sistren.
No, that stands. Sistren, Bulldog. You have just coined the term.
In Victorian Roller Derby League. Now we've got G Banger struggling to get out of the pack, but gets knocked down to the infield, picking herself back up. Daddy's Girl in control of the clock with lead jammer for Sacred City. Coming around again, here she comes on her first scoring pass, looking to put Sacred City back on top. Obviously, they've been very comfortable. Oh, it looks like the score was adjusted. Only 76 points for Victorian Roller Derby League. So a 6-point lead, and Daddy's Girl getting in there. That is 5 points, and that's going to make it a 1-point game, but Sacred City's still behind.
We almost had another close penalty there. G-Banger just barely avoiding the penalty, ended up with a no pass, no penalty instead. Happened right in front of the announcer's booth, or else I wouldn't have even seen it. It was that quick. I don't know if she saw it and reacted that quickly, or if it was just pure luck. We're going to say that it was pure skill, though, right now. That was well played by G-Banger right at the end of that jam.
Mad Melorina jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League against number 44, Forecloser for Sacred City. Both jammers surrounded by the enemy on each side. Forecloser trying to get past Tui Lion, but Tui Lion, one of the most formidable blockers of the Victorian Roller Derby League. I was really impressed with her against Terminal City, and she's putting up a big fight. It looks like Sacred City is determined. She's a threat and have assigned 2 blockers. There's something to go 2-1 against Tui Lion, which is not too surprising. But here we go, Mad Melorina on a scoring pass going up against Slapjack number 22 and number 425, Misbehave. They're holding her back. We've got Rose Villain and Dirty H Special bridging, trying to keep them in the engagement zone. Meanwhile, Forecloser trapped in behind a 4-wall. Now just leaning into that. That was like
look at
a
her push
football
through.
sled play.
Exactly.
She just forced them forward. She just leaned that shoulder in. Just digs that shoulder into a legal target zone. That's important. That's vital, one might say. And then just uses those legs and forces them. Just overpowered 2 of the opposing skaters. So
that was beautiful. Brutal and beautiful. Mad Melorina, though, taking a trip to the penalty box, meaning Power Jam Sacred City.
But that is the Flying Nunchucker and Perky Nana. Perky Nana, by the way, not a naughty term. It's actually I believe someone told me it's a candy. It's a brand of candy in Australia.
Okay.
All that, which I have to admit, when I saw that, my thoughts immediately went to places where I won't share them with you right now.
We'll leave that for the after show.
That's right. Yeah, if you're at the after party, I'll share it with you in way too much detail, especially after I have a couple of cocktails. But right now, I'm nowhere near there, and Forecloser running out of time. Looks like 4 points. Yeah, his hand is to the side. I can't tell if that thumb's out, but yes, 4 points. Only 4 points for Victorian Roller Derby League, and that is halftime. So Mad Melorina putting 4 more on the board, and that's just enough to keep them ahead of Sacred City by 2 points.
That's right, yeah. We're seeing some excellent derby here. Victoria definitely riding the wave here, getting their sea legs. I'm standing on that, Bulldog. I don't care if you want to change it.
What was that? That's a silly metaphor. Why in the world would you use that?
Their skate legs, finding their skate legs, I guess. In either case, we've seen a lead change here. They're going to try and ride the momentum all the way through to the second period. We're going to see all of you back here in about 14 minutes, though, folks.
And ask Kyle Bundy to turn down that shirt. All right, we're going to take halftime. We'll see you in a minute.
Unfortunately, Bulldog stretching occurred off camera, so those of you at home did not get to witness what it looks like when an announcer warms up for the second half of a roller derby bout.
I think I was heating up the crowd.
Well said, Bulldog. No doubt about that, I'm sure.
And you missed it. See, that's what happens when you don't come to the tournament proper.
You got to be here. Eugene, Oregon, we love you. Everybody here at the Big O, this has been a fantastic weekend so far. We've still got plenty more to go because there's a whole nother day. Check it out tomorrow, folks. Sunday bouting. Get up early in the morning, and of course by early in the morning I mean like 10 o'clock or so. Catch those bouts. And class is in session here. Period 2. We've got a power jam forecloser now, the only jammer in legal play. Jam starts to a bit of a slowdown there, but then speeds right up again. Forecloser right back into the back and out. That's your lead jammer, folks, for Sacred City.
Mad Melorina standing up now means she has less than 10 seconds left in her penalty. And now rejoins the pack. She will, of course, be on her initial pass. Forecloser on a scoring pass. There they are. They come around that blind spot and now Mad Melorina escaping the pack, completing her initial pass. Forecloser has her hands full, getting double teamed by Tui Lion and Tiger, but breaks free of them, only to fall into the clutches of Perky Nana and Flying Nunchucker, and gets out a grand slam, calls it off. So that's going to put Sacred right back into the lead by 3 points.
There we go. Sacred saying, no, we are not going to let that momentum continue on through the half. We are going to see what we can do about that. Of course, only a 3-point lead, but we've still plenty of time left to go, folks. If you're just now joining us, we've got Victoria in white, Sacred City in the reddish brown.
Also known as maroon.
Okay. I knew there was a name for that somewhere. Thank you, Bulldog.
Or if you want to go, you can go violet or purple, but reddish brown, that's the best you could. Okay.
Yeah, that is the best I can do, okay?
Okay. Did you not take fine arts in high school? There we go. G-Banger getting out of the pack. She is lead jammer for Victorian Roller Derby League. Daddy's Girl sliding around the outside, holding on to Slapjack to stay in bounds. Not quite a Pegasus, but Pegasus, no.
I don't know if we can come up with any more strange terms during this bout legally. 4 points, though, for Victoria.
Yep, G-Banger, they're gonna be leapfrogging each other for the first few jams. They're back in the lead, 84-83, 1 point. And now we got Swish Caraboom jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League up against Colt 45. And it looks like we have an empty penalty box. Am I seeing things?
5 on 5, that's what I love to see. Full complement of skaters on the track, and there we go, there's the whistle.
Colt 45 looking for an opening on the outside, but Jilly Pepper, number 3, is there for Victorian Roller Derby League. The Flying Nunchucker always present in the defense. Holding back Colt 45, but it's Swish Caraboom, the lead jammer. Colt 45 finally getting right past Tui Lion. That is her real name. That is not a pun. Swish Caraboom. Oh, okay. I thought it was starting again, man. It was starting again. No, it looked like Swish Caraboom was just for a second was going through the penalty box, but no, she had called off the jam and was returning to her bench, and so Victorian Roller Derby League opening up a little bit more of a lead, 4 more points, 5 points now ahead of Sacred City.
5 seconds left to go until this jam starts, and there we have it. We got Forecloser there, starting things off, turning sideways a little bit, trying to find her hole on the inside. Nothing going on there, though. She's now back to the outside again. For Victoria, it's Mad Melorina, of course, trying to get through the pack as well. Both of these jammers are not having an easy time of it. Forecloser, though, gets the nod, but not before getting a big shoulder check. Pirouetting on one skate, my goodness. And that is your lead jammer. That is so pretty, folks. We're seeing some amazing figure skating out there. Mad Melorina now beginning her own scoring pass as she skates around. And the Forecloser back in the pack and right up front again. Once again, spinning around the last line defense. We've seen that move before by her. She is showing us some amazing grace out there as a jammer tonight.
Okay, and that was a hit. Mad Melorina knocked down by Cash Money right at the whistle. And I tell you what, I think both skaters were looking around and wondering if it was before or after the whistle. But no penalty called, of course. By my dead reckoning, which is unofficial, it did look like it was right at the whistle, not after the whistle. So, you know. But regardless, the referees are always the final arbiters in these things, and they agreed with me.
How wise of them.
How wise of them, yes. Indeed. Daddy's Girl, number 53, jamming for Sacred City. And just everybody focused on Daddy's Girl, and G-Banger sees a wide open inside lane and dives through, claims lead jammer. Sacred City just all completely focused on getting their jammer through. They momentarily forgot about the opposing jammer. She had been hanging back, and now Daddy's Girl in trouble. She stumbles going into turn one. And now it looks like the Valiant Nunchucker going to the penalty box, number 72 for Victorian Roller Derby League. And Daddy's Girl able to get out of the pack, but that was her initial pass. G-Banger hanging onto her Tiwi Lions shirt to get around, runs up, misbehaved, gets in front of her, and forces the call off. G-Banger picking up 3 more points for Victorian Roller Derby League, but so far it has been a little bit of a streak starting out the second half for Victorian Roller Derby League.
That's right, Victoria, the girls in white here, not messing around. We see right now 93 points, just edging above Sacred City now. Still plenty of time left to go, 24 minutes in this half.
Number 138, Swish Caraboom jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League, and number 45, Colt 45. So I guess saying her number separately is redundant.
Is it redundant?
It is redundant and repetitive.
I don't believe it's repetitive at all.
But Colt 45 trapped behind Rocky, number 70, number 20. No, sorry, Ruby Ruckus, Rib Crusher.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a tongue twister, folks. Some of these names are just very difficult to pronounce.
There are too many rubies in roller derby. But Swish Caraboom into the pack on a scoring pass. Up to the front, we've got.
Swish Caraboom there, 5 points for the girls in white as Swish Caraboom skates away.
That's right. That was number 7, Billie Jean Beretta, making trouble for Swish Caraboom. But now she comes around the outside. Kneel and Weep just cuts her off in that lane. Colt 45 looking for 2 points and gets 3. So 3 points for Sacred City. She forgot about that ghost point in the penalty box.
Ooh, ghost points. Timeout, Sacred City here. Victoria has broken the century mark here, 101 points, 11 points separating these two teams. That is nothing in roller derby. If you haven't seen roller derby before and you're watching right now for the first time, these kind of scores bounce back and forth at any time. And there's still all kinds of time here left to go. 23 minutes left to go in legal play. Again, as Bulldog mentioned before, Victoria has seen a bit of a streak here, although now Sacred City pulling a little momentum here, which may be why they call that timeout. They're doing a little bit of a lineup adjustment, it looks like, to me. Wanting to take full advantage of what they've got going. And, of course, part of taking full advantage of it means a little bit of dancing on the jam line. We're seeing that from Victoria right now. How can you not, with Jubilee out there showing us some moves, representing the NS Hobos, amazing 100% dancing. We love them to death. Thank you, NS Hobos. Looks like we are just about ready to restart things here. Ending the timeout now, coming back into things. Everybody crouches and awaits as the calm before the storm is ready to stop here in about 5 seconds. We're going to see what's going to happen here.
Well, we're going to have a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Victorian Roller Derby League with Annie Anklebiter in the penalty box for Sacred City. Forecloser driving up that inside lane. And now squeezed right between Perky Nana and Tiger. Knocked down by Perky Nana. Comes back up. But that is Mad Melorina out of the pack first for lead jammer. Forecloser up front. Tui Lion trying to hang on but runs out of room. And Forecloser out of there. But here comes Mad Melorina into the back, just nudged out of bounds by Axel Breaker and calling off the jam, but I don't know if she got it in time. We're going to look for possible points for Sacred City. No points for Sacred City. So she called it up
really
just in time.
Yeah, that looked really close from our vantage point, folks. That was just about as close as you can do. Both these jammers now in the back of the pack there, just struggling for the best possible position they can get.
That's right. That is risky because when the game is not on, if you engage the other skater in any way that impacts them, as in if you knock them so that they move their skate, you can potentially be subjected to a penalty before the jam for an illegal procedure that is hitting before the whistle is the same as hitting after the whistle. Cash money going to the penalty box for Sacred City. Here comes G Banger into the pack on a scoring pass. She is lead jammer. Trying to get around Annie Ankle Biter, number 113. And comes up short. She's only going to get 3 points for Victorian Roller Derby League, but once again called off the jam in time to keep Sacred City from scoring.
Victoria here, inch by inch, they are just pushing the score a little bit further and further every single jam we've seen here during the second period. Sacred's going to see what they can do to get things back in order here. Looks like they do still have a blocker in the penalty box, so Victoria with a slight pack advantage. But we've seen this for most of the bout, actually. The penalty box has been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's number 15, Cash Money, in the penalty box for Sacred City. Cold 45 diving headlong into the pack, but and she gets around the outside. She is lead jammer for Sacred City, but right behind her, Swish Caraboom also exiting the pack. And a very fast pack for about a half a lap. Now it seems to be slowing down. And the jammers catch up. Cold 45 just takes the back of the pack. Oh, does not pass anyone. Calls it off without passing any Victorian skaters. And it's going to be a scoreless jam.
Looks like she was looking for that fourth whistle. Just didn't quite make there in time. In either case, though, wanting to stop Victoria from getting any of those points. That's mission accomplished for Sacred City.
20 minutes left in the second period, and the final bout today, the big
Lining up on the line, Mad Melorina and Forecloser now. I think we've seen this matchup before, Bulldog.
I think we've seen this matchup a few times. Both of those are go-to jammers, Forecloser and Mad Melorina, powerhouses for each of their teams. I think Forecloser wins on the in the aesthetic category.
Better believe
but Mad Melorina with an incredible burst of speed and tremendous agility for the Victorian Roller Derby League. But right now stuck behind that is Axel Breaker. Axel Breaker number 23, Evil Shenanigans number 13, and number 113, Annie Ankle Biter. All three of them holding back Mad Melorina, but Forecloser having even worse trouble, not even able to get into the pack. But now season opening, but they close it up just as quickly. Bebop Alula just getting position, slowing her enough so that the Flying Nunchucker and Ruby Rib Crusher can get in front of her. But now Forecloser has broken free. But up front, Mad Melorina wins the one-on-one battle against Annie Ankle Biter to get out of the pack. She did not get lead jammer, though. She got a no pass, no penalty, now on a scoring pass. But lead jammer still up for grabs if Forecloser can get out. But right now, Mad Melorina one full lap ahead of the Sacred City jammer. Knocked out of bounds by by Axel Breaker, but Mad Melorina too quick for her to drop back and is able to recycle back inbounds. But right now, it is a two-wall. Annie Ankle Biter and Axel Breaker knocking Mad Melorina just one wheel getting out of bounds, but that is enough. And that beautiful move by Axel Breaker, dropping back all the way to the back of the pack. Mad Melorina has to take another run at it now, leaning into Annie Ankle Biter, and it's Annie Ankle Biter and Axel Breaker holding Mad Melorina in the pack. She is still on her first scoring pass. Forecloser still on her initial pass. So what we're seeing is tremendous defense from both teams. And not coincidentally, a 5-on-5 pack. All of the blockers in the pack right now. Forecloser finally getting out, and you can see the relief on her face. I think this is the hardest she has had to work in a single jam all day long, possibly all weekend long. Hell, possibly all year long. Victorian Roller Derby League so strong in that jam.
That's right. I don't know if you guys could hear that at home, but a huge cheer went up from the crowd as we finally got a lead jammer right at the end. Victoria may have forecloser's number. We're going to look to see what happens later on in this bout with that.
And with all that work, Mad Millerino only put 4 points on the board for Victorian Roller Derby League. So now G-Banger taking over the star helmet cover. Daddy's Girl for Sacred City. Sacred City once again in the maroon. Victorian Roller Derby League in the white. Jilly Pepper going to the penalty box. It looks like a multiplayer block was called on her. And Daddy's Girl claims lead jammer. G-Banger on the other hand. G-Banger forced to recycle as she's knocked to the infield. Now dodging around Slapjack, but she runs into a 3-wall with Rose Villain fronting it. That was a 3+1. Is there a name for that?
Wall. No, I don't think so.
G-Banger now up to the head of the pack. Daddy's Girl on a scoring pass. I believe still her first scoring pass.
I think you're right.
Once again, both defenses coming on strong, holding back the jammers, but the situation reversed from the previous jam. Daddy's Girl finally, after all that work, gets all 5 points. All 5 points. So Mad Millerino only got 4 points, by the way. There was one blocker she did not pass. But now Daddy's Girl claiming all 5.
These are some hard-fought jams going on here. One of the things acting in Victoria's favor, though, right now is chewing a lot of time off the clock. Every single one of these jams going the distance just about here. In fact, I think absolutely going the distance. And we've got just under 16 minutes left to go. Still a slight lead for Victoria, but they're using every bit they can.
Colt 45 jamming for Sacred City against Swish Caraboom, number 138 for Victorian Roller Derby League. Colt 45 on that inside lane right behind Swish Caraboom, so both jammers neck and neck, but Colt 45 forced to drop back by Perky Nana. That is a candy. I got official confirmation,
okay, good,
by the way.
thank you.
Swish Caraboom, lead jammer. Colt 45 getting out about a quarter lap behind the Victorian Roller Derby League jammer, but closing the gap quickly. Swish Caraboom jets into the pack, and I believe her coach gave her the signal. She calls it off just in time and gets 3 points added to the lead they have on Sacred City.
So are you telling me that I can't giggle after saying Perky Nana's name anymore?
Oh, you can giggle.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Because candy is funny.
I've always said that. Listen to the cheers for Victoria. We've got a serious rumble going on the flat track here. Victoria 111, Sacred City 95.
Mad Millerino versus Forecloser, again a familiar sight. Forecloser to the inside, but held back by Tui Lion and Rocky, but breaks free, slips around Tui Lion and gets out for lead jammer. Mad Millerino to the penalty box. We have another power jam, but each team with 2 blockers in the penalty box, so it's a 2-on-2 pack, and now they're going to play Red Rover, I believe. That's the technical term.
That's exactly right. Yeah, come on over.
Tui Lion and Rocky. That's Tui Lion, number 88.
And
whoa!
Look at Tui Lion.
Overpowering her. And Forecloser getting a no pass, no penalty. Tui Lion did just barely step out of bounds, and that was enough to allow Forecloser to get through, but not allow. Did they give her all 5 points? They may have given her all 5 points, but that which would only mean that she had already gotten Tui Lion's point. But so he was signaling to indicate that she did not cut the track. But Rocky unable to hold back Forecloser, another 5.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious high block major there for Tui Lion, by the way.
Tui Lion going to the penalty box to join their jammer. So it's a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Sacred City on the power jam. Forecloser almost taking a knee and sliding past Rocky to get through the pack, completing another grand slam. I believe that was a 15-point jam, and now it is the scoreboard right now showing a tied game. But no, okay,
Okay.
I was about to say it was a 1-point game. It ticked up, and that didn't add up with the same math.
Always go with your gut, Bulldog.
No,
we always do. Yeah. You could just see the desperation, though, that last jam for Victoria, sending blockers to the penalty box. They were just trying to lay everything out that they could possibly do.
Okay, so that was only a 4. Well, I believe that may have only been a 4-point pass. That first pass. Right. They may have corrected that. That would make it a 14-point jam, unless I missed something, which is entirely
That's
possible.
impossible. I don't see how Bulldog you could miss anything.
Oh, it happens all the time. I'm just a good guesser.
You're just good at covering it up, I would say. That's so yeah,
Well,
again,
if no one corrects me, then I must be right.
I hope you're not looking at me for that. 'Cause, yeah, I am just barely hanging on by a thread right now.
That's
Folks,
especially a joke because people correct me all the time.
well, of course, yeah. No, we appreciate everybody hanging on with us here this late bout Saturday night. If you've been hanging out, we've got a ton of bouting going on all day today. And ending things out with a bang here. Victoria 111, Sacred City 109. It's a barn burner with under 13 minutes left to go.
But Victorian roller derby league with a severe deficit on the track. Well, now not so much. Mad Melorina rejoining. She only had a few seconds left on her penalty, but that was enough for Daddy's Girl to get through the pack and claim lead jammer first. Mad Melorina now making a run for it, trying to get past Annie Anklebiter. Annie Anklebiter looks over her left shoulder. I'm not sure why. Maybe thought another skater was coming up. Took her attention just for a second, and the burst of speed that we've seen from Mad Melorina over and over again. That was easily enough to get her past, but nevertheless, Daddy's Girl had it well in hand. She was lead jammer, was able to get through, score the points, flip the lead, and call off the jam.
There you go. That's exactly what Sacred City wanted there and what they needed here. Time's still not that much of an issue. We've got all kinds of it left, and it's in about as close as this one. We can still see anything happening right here, but again, we're hearing Victoria's cheering section over there. We've got a lot of guys cheering for him right now.
G Banger number 010 against Forecloser number 44 for Sacred City. G Banger in the white jersey gets a low block. Another another power jam, and this time going to Sacred City. And I can't. Oh no! This is I can't even finish the sentence.
Exactly.
And I say power jet, and they're flipping again.
Maybe they're just doing it to mock you, Bulldog. I think is what's happening.
I didn't know. Yeah, we must have earbuds in the skaters' helmets. But we've got G Banger coming in, capitalizing on that power jam to complete her initial pass. But here we come, Forecloser into the back, slams right into a four-wall. Ruby Rib Crusher, Tui Lion, Rocky, and Perky Nana holding the line for Victorian Roller Derby League. Slapjack trying single-handedly to hold back G Banger, but G Banger able to get through. Claims the Grand Slam. Forecloser struggling, but getting stopped at every turn. Tui Lion and Perky Nana trapping her, and now Ruby Rib Crusher and Tui Lion double teaming her. Coming through again, it's G Banger and another Grand Slam. Victorian Roller Derby League back in the lead, and now opening up a little gap between them and Sacred City again. Forecloser now finally. She had to work for it again. I think Forecloser was doing so well in the beginning, but Victorian Roller Derby League has adjusted to this powerful jammer for Sacred City, and they're figuring out what they need to do, and they're getting their rhythm, one might say. I think I just coined a phrase. G Banger coming around again. She is opening up a big lead and runs right into Slapjack and falls down. Slapjack barely noticed her. I have to be honest. But G Banger gets around her with a little help from Perky Nana. And another Grand Slam, and now Victorian Roller Derby League with a nice wide 17-point lead over Sacred City.
That's right. Victoria may have been saving it up here during this last half, right for the end, as they do an amazing job on that last time. You know, I was talking to their coach earlier. I think they're from out of town. I don't think they're from around here.
Yeah, they don't talk right. Swish Caraboom number 138 jamming for Victorian. And Colt 45 for Sacred City. Colt 45 leaning into Tiger and the Flying Nunchucker. The Swish Caraboom getting past Cash Money number 15 for Sacred City. And claiming lead jammer. Colt 45 squeezing up the inside, but it's caught just in time by the Flying Nunchucker. And it's a no pass, no penalty. No, Colt 45, get back in there. You have a pass to go. That's right, Flying Nunchucker fell down and touched out of bounds. But falling down was enough to negate her cutting the track, triggering. Hold 45 and Swish Caraboom in there. This is still the first scoring pass for Swish Caraboom, I believe. Colt 45 completing hers, getting 4 points. Swish Caraboom struggling a little bit more. Now up to the front, forced to the infield, and calling off the jam. Number 23, Annie Ankle-Biter, stopping her and holding her to 3 points, it looked like. So, in fact, Sacred City winning the jam.
That's right, yeah. For all of the hard work Victoria has been pulling together here in the second half, Sacred is not about to give anything up here. They are still fighting for their lives, and this is a close bout. Just under 8 minutes left to go.
And Sacred City still in penalty trouble. Cash money, and I can't quite. Oh, that's Misbehave, number 425 for Sacred City. Both skaters in the penalty box, so a 4-on-2 pack advantage. Mad Mel Arena jamming for Victorian Roller Derby League against Daddy's Girl. Daddy's Girl pushing the entire pack forward. They were in a scrum arrangement, and Daddy's Girl just such a powerful skater, leaning them all forward. Another football sled situation. Mad Mel Arena having her hands full. They had the pack advantage, but Mad Mel Arena was stopped by Rose Villain of Sacred City. And Daddy's Girl able to overcome the disadvantage and claim lead jammer for Sacred City.
Wow, just look at Sacred City here with the intensity. And we do see a power jam here for Sacred City. I missed that penalty, unfortunately, Bulldog. Sorry.
That's right. And since I didn't say it, Daddy's Girl still on the track. And Daddy's Girl opting to call off the jam as she exits the pack.
Wow.
Just settling for a grand slam.
And this is huge for Sacred City here as we come into the under 6.5 minute mark. Big opportunity here with this power jam here. And who else are they going to give it to, Bulldog, but the forecloser herself?
Well, you got it. I think the last 3 jams, or possibly most of the jams she's been in this period, Victorian Roller Derby League has very successfully shut her down and kept her to single digits or completely scoreless. Forecloser trying to do another spin move, and definitely the Flying Nunchucker was ready for that, but she fell down herself again. See, we just saw that happen just a minute ago.
That's right. Yeah,
excellent tactical awareness, just not quite following through with the balance. Now the Flying Nunchucker falling down again, and this time Forecloser was already behind her, so there was no loss there, except for her ability to stop Forecloser again. Forecloser picking up a grand slam, coming around again. She's gonna try and capitalize on this, but Mad Mel Arena back in, so no more power jam. Mad Mel Arena, that was some Jordan moves, some Michael Jordan moves going on. But Forecloser flying around, just counterblocks Tiger, and Flying Nunchucker unable to make contact with Forecloser. So Forecloser is getting back into her own rhythm, one might say.
There you go. Yeah, well said, Bulldog. Yeah, and a couple missed opportunities early on by Victoria during this jam. Yeah, has definitely opened the door for Forecloser. She calls it off. Yeah, we spoke too soon. I think Forecloser may have heard us actually talking earlier. I don't know, but she has proved us wrong. Yeah, Victoria not able to slow her down much at all during that last jam.
That's right, man. These two teams very closely matched, and you can tell, you can see by the scoreboard, but you can also see you can almost match player for player. They have both teams very strong on defense. They have a couple of go-to jammers who are very strong, but but the penalties have been keeping them from capitalizing on their offense throughout the game. But here comes G Banger. I'm gonna jinx myself. If she can, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Good idea.
G Banger into the pack on her first scoring pass. She is in control of the clock with lead jammer. Daddy's Girl stuck behind Tui Lion, and Tui Lion backed up or fronted up, as the case may be, by Bebop Alula and Rocky. They have Rocky, Tiger, and Chuck. Chuck being, of course, the flying nunchucker. Here comes G Banger into the pack on a scoring pass, but runs into Misbehave and falling down, picking herself back up. She is on a scoring pass. Keep in mind, Daddy's Girl still on her initial pass. So far, Sacred City nowhere near matching these points. So G-Banger opening up a little bit more of a lead. But you know what? Every single time that Victorian Roller Derby League has opened up a lead, Sacred City has managed to reel them back in and even get ahead a little bit. But Victorian Roller Derby League showing a lot of strength after a couple of stumbles in the first few jams. Really showing some solid strength and showing us just how strong Australian Derby has become.
Better believe that. Yeah, Sacred, actually, you can almost see it if you watch the penalty box, them getting stronger and then weaker again, respectively. Unfortunately, Cash Money, just as quickly as she left the penalty box, is now right back in there. But we are still even odds here in the pack. We'll see what both teams can make of it.
Number 138, Swish Caraboom for Victorian Roller Derby League in the white, and Colt 45 for Sacred City in the maroon. Colt 45 looking for the outside lane, dodges to the inside, but Perky Nana is there, backed up by the flying nunchucker, and gets a cutting the track penalty. Just one wheel touching out of bounds, and you step back in. It can happen that fast. If someone hits you and you touch out of bounds and then touch back in, you're back in bounds and you have cut because you did not recycle behind the skater that knocked you out of bounds. That's how easy it is, and that's what happened to Colt 45. Once that wheel touches out of bounds, you plant it.
That's right.
Plant it and recycle. And most skaters have that instinct, but it's so easy to miss. Your every single instinct in your body wants to just forge ahead because, hey, they weren't in front of me, but that is the rule, and the skaters have to develop that reflex. And this time it failed her. But Swish Caraboom getting that was a blatant forearm penalty from Slapjack, and Slapjack knows that she knew she did something bad. You can see it. You could see that terrible regret from that smile on her face. Swish Caraboom into the pack and now careening to the infield. Now Colt 45 is skating around the outside. Oh, okay. She was coming back in and was opting to skate out of bounds. She actually didn't have to. But right through the pack, Swish Caraboom in the penalty box. It's a power jam. It's a switch to a Sacred City power jam. And now Colt 45 quickly through the pack and around again, and none touched. The flying nunchucker saw her, but not in time. Did not react in time. A grand slam for Colt 45. And that's going to recover some of the damage done by Swish Caraboom before she went to the penalty box.
Looks like we're going to do one more jam. Everybody at home, stand up and scream. I guarantee they'll be able to hear it if you scream as loud as you can. Victoria now doing a power huddle in the middle of the flat track here, getting ready for this final jam. It will be a hard-fought battle for Sacred, but we've seen it happen before. There is no reason to discount Sacred City right now, and as the lineup clock begins to run down, both these teams are psyching themselves up, getting ready for what is no doubt going to be an epic final jam of really an amazing bout here to close out Saturday night here at the Big O.
Okay, well, I'm seeing a team timeout called. It appears he is gesturing at the Victorian Roller Derby League, which is a little bit of a surprise, considering they're 21 points ahead. But Sacred City definitely within range of taking this back if they can capitalize on this power jam. Or if Victorian Roller Derby League makes a mistake, 21 points is definitely within the realm of a power jam score.
Yeah, you better believe that, yeah. And again, we've seen it happen before, so here we go, folks. Get ready to see some amazing roller derby as we are ready to begin the last jam of this bout, folks. Let's see it.
Now, that being said, it is definitely within reach, but it is going to be a challenge. 21 points is a very good jam. Forecloser up to the front, trying to get around, and gets around Ribby Rib Crusher to claim lead jammer. That is step number one.
That's right.
You have to control the clock because you need as much time as possible. 21-point jam, you need more than 30 seconds to make it that far. And also, you don't want the other team to be able to stop you prematurely. Forecloser up to the front, finally gets past Ruby Rib Crusher and Tui Lion. They run out of room, and Ruby Rib Crusher going to the penalty box. But look at that, Swish Caraboom, the jammer for Victorian, standing up and now on her way, returning, recycling to the back of the pack, which means that she can potentially be in position to match points. But first, she's got to get through her initial pass. That is 10 points by Forecloser, narrowing the gap to only 11 points. 3 more scoring passes could put Sacred City back into the lead, and since they are lead jammer, that could do it. Another grand slam, 15 points, a 6-point game right now. So Victorian Roller Derby League's jammer, Switch Caraboom, gets out of the back, but that was her initial pass. But that is very bad for Sacred City because she can now match any points that Forecloser scores. And Forecloser, running into Tui Lion. Called off the jam. The jam was not called on that was not called by the referees, or rather, it was not called due to injury, which it looked like for just a second.
Yeah,
but that was
scary.
Called off officially by Forecloser. And it looks like Swish Caraboom did pick up a couple of points.
That's right.
That was a kind of anticlimactic end to the game.
Right. Came to a rolling stop there, yeah. Nonetheless, yeah, the time has ended. We're going to make sure that everything's on the up and up and that the unofficial score soon becomes official. And we will let you know just as soon as possible when that happens.
Okay, we are waiting for the official final score. Okay, the score was jumping around a little bit, and it looks like Sacred City was not at 156. I think possibly the scorekeeper a little bit premature on the button. So right now the scoreboard showing 160 to 151. But unless there was a major scoring arithmetic error, then it looks like Victorian Roller Derby League is our victors.
I think you're right about that, Bulldog. Yeah, that seemed pretty obvious there at the end. But not to discount Sacred City, that was a fantastic last jam of this bout. That was just some amazing roller derby we saw. And again, I feel lucky I got to sit here and witness it all go down as we still wait for the official score. You got to be careful, especially in these close bouts, folks. All of these officials want to make absolutely sure that everything is on the level and that we can give you the exact score. The NSOs, of course, pinnacle in all of the success of this roller derby tournament. As we see here, they are adding up the numbers, crunching them, using their amazing, delicious brains as we speak to figure out the final score of this bout. Metalette up there keeping close eye over all of the action, making sure that we are showing you on the scoreboard what is actually, in truth, the final score of this bout. Everybody, of course, lining the flat track here to give excellent kudos to both of these leagues. Hard-fought bout here, and I'm trying to pick out the male derby players who were over there who were just so loud. They were screaming for Victoria there, and that was an amazing cheering section. I'm sure Victoria appreciated it. Folks, that is your official score. Victoria comes out victorious, 160 points to Sacred City's 151. Bulldog, thank you for helping us all fall in love with Derby all over again here.
Yeah, thank Sacred City and Victorian Roller Derby League. When there's a game like that, it is an absolute pleasure to call.
I don't know if there's any more for us to say.
An absolutely brilliant game played by both teams, very closely matched teams, and they made it exciting and downright breathtaking to watch. And congratulations to Victorian Roller Derby League on their victory this evening.
That's right. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you again, if you've been watching at home, for staying up with us. into the evening here on Saturday. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, Sunday morning. We're going to be doing all over again. There's plenty of more bouting to go here in the Big O. Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
These girls played an amazing bout there. They left everything on the track and just put their hearts into it. I've always been a huge fan of Sacred City, and this is exactly why. Just a great, great bout. Both these teams played their hearts out on this track, and this is one of the best bouts I've seen in a long, long time.
Incredible bout. All right, everyone. That's the end of day 2. We'll see you tomorrow for more local reactions.
Good.
Now join us in the after party at the Big O after party at the Red Lion for karaoke. They're gonna sing a little maybe let's see.
Yeah.
Party around us. All right. I'm Phil Derek.
And this is Steve Rutherford.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Hi there, I'm Megatron.
I'm Pitchett.
We're from the Derby Deeds podcast, and we're broadcasting live from the Big O. And we just watched an amazing end to Victorian versus Sacred City, 160 to 151.
What a way to round out the day, man. Some big gaps today in scores, and then to have a game this close is awesome.
Yeah, it was such a good game. We only got to see the second half of it because we were over there covering the Terminal City versus Emerald City game.
Another great game, but again, a whole bunch of big score differentials today.
Yes. So remember, we're going to be here.
The English are coming.
the British are coming! Sorry for yelling that in your ears. Anyway, we're going to be here tomorrow for the final day of the Big O. We have a lot of action planned. Games start tomorrow at...
Same time, early in the morning, 9 o'clock.
So, hi, James Brains. And so stay tuned. We got track 1 action, we got track 2 action, and anything big that's happening on track 3, we will make sure we give you updates. We've got a bunch of stuff on the Derby Deeds Facebook page. We'll have more video updates for you tomorrow. So rounding out the broadcast day, I'm Megatron.
I'm Pitchett.
Thanks a lot for watching the Big O.